Hello everyone, it's me Benak, and in this video tutorial I'll take you through a short tour of how to get started with Dockerfile. And to get started with this Dockerfile, all you got to do is you need to have some prerequisites. So the prerequisites are, one thing is you got to have this Microsoft Visual Studio Code followed by Docker Desktop installed on your system. And when you're having these two installed on your system, it becomes very easy to get started. So right now let's open up our Visual Studio Code. So after opening Visual Studio Code, let's first have a folder, and this folder will be containing few files. And what files, you will get to know it in a short while. So let's open up a folder. So let me go to this directory. So here let me create a folder, and let me call this as my first app. So let me select this folder. So here let's check this checkbox. Let's trust this author, and in this file I got to have two files. What two files? One is a Python file by the name app.py, and the other file is our Docker file. So make sure you start with a capital D while naming the Docker file without any space between Docker and file, also without any extension. So let's first write a very short Python program. So wherein let's use hello world program for Python. So enclosed within the double quotes, hello world. So right after this, save this file and go back to the Docker file. And here we got to basically start from base image, and you can start with any base image, but preferably something that which is of very small in size, and you can know all those images. You can find all those images by going to this Docker Hub. So here all you got to do is search for something like Python, and type should be of image. So if you search this, you can make use of this official Python Docker image. So out here let's use this Python 3.10. So from, let's paste this, and now let's set up a working directory. Work dir space, inside the root create a folder by name app. So what this work directory specifies is, it specifies the container that whatever you do within a folder by name app. And right after that, let's try to copy the files that which are inside in our host system onto our container. So basically, in order to do that, we have this instruction copy dot space dot, where these two dots might look like a typo error, but the thing is, here the starting dot refers to copy whatever is in the local present working directory onto the containers present working directory that which is set to a folder by name app inside root. And right after that, let's run this command. So the command is to run Python followed by the app that which is labeled as that which is having a file name app.py. So right now our Docker file is done. So let's save this. So right after saving this both Docker file as well as app.py, Let's hover to our folder that which we just created. So let's open up command prompt from here, and now let's use docker instruction. Let's build the image first. Docker space build -t for adding tag. So let's give a image name like my first app space dot, where dot refers to the docker file is present inside this present working directory, or else if you are trying to run it from somewhere else, you got to give the file path and name, and let's hit enter. Okay, let me rerun this command again. So the only issue the previous time was that there was no space between this command and the square bracket. So right now our image has been built, and we can also check this image by opening Docker desktop. Or meanwhile we can also get to know all the images that which we have just by running docker images. So here you can see that there is this image by the name my first app with a tag latest. Okay, now let's try to run this docker image. Docker run my underscore first underscore app. So if I do this, I'll be getting the output as hello world. So right now this thing creates a container with the name my first app. Let's see the container docker ps -a. So where -a shows all the containers that which are either running or stopped, and because now the container job is done, so it has stopped. Okay, you can see that this container was created 37 seconds ago. Yeah, and the container has given the name automatically sleepy rods. Yeah, that's how you create a docker image from a docker file and run that docker image. And further, let's say in a practical situation wherein you might have to install all the requirements. Let's say you want to build a numpy kind of application. So let's see in what way this kind of docker file is reproducible or scalable. So let me create something like my one more folder by name my second app. So inside of which again we'll be having, we got to create two files, app.py and Dockerfile, and there would be one more new addition to this called as requirement text file. So for that, let me open up that folder my second app. So let me select this folder. So here let me create app.py followed by Dockerfile followed by requirements file. So make sure this is a requirement file that is having extension .txt text file. So here let's try to install just a simple package by name numerical python numpy, and let's specify one version to it. Let it be 1.26.4. so let this thing be its version. Right after that, let's save this requirement file. After saving, let's get back to the app, and here let's write a simple program that which makes use of numpy. So import numpy as np, and the next instruction be, let's create two arrays. Array 1 equals np dot array, so let the content be 1, 2, 3. Similarly, let's create one more array. Let's call this as array 2. Let's change its content to be like 2, 4 and 6, and right after that, let's add these two arrays. Let's call the resultant array as result. Let's, and this is equal to array 1 plus array 2, and right after this, let's print the result. So for this, let's have a placeholder f, so placeholder followed by double quotes. So let's first print the content of array 1 is 2. So let's have array 1 here. So make sure you are using the same name, array 1, and right after that, let's print the content of array 2. And right after that, let's print the result. Okay, we are done with the Python program. Let's save this and let's head back to the Docker file. And in this Docker file, again, as usual, let's start with a base image. From base image Python that which makes use of Python 3.10, and let's set up our working directory. Inside root create a folder by name app, and right after that let's first copy the requirement file .txt to that folder, and after copying the requirement file, let's run the content, that is the dependency numpy. So let's run this pip install -r requirements.txt, and after that let's copy the entire content from present working directory of local host to the folder by name app. After that let's run the command python followed by the file name app.py. So let's save this. After saving, let's head back to our command prompt. Let me clear this. Or let me open up command from the taskbar here. So here let's build the image first. Docker space build -t tag. Let's give the image name as my second app, and the Docker file is available in the present working directory indicated by this dot. Hit enter. Meanwhile, you can see that it has skipped the out of 5 levels, it has skipped the starting 2 levels because it's using the cache memory, and whatever the changes it finds, it is trying to recompile that, and right now it is exporting all of that to images. So right now our image is ready by the name my second app with a tag latest. We can also look into the images by typing docker images. So this is where it is, my second app latest. Now let's try to run this image docker run my second app. Yeah, now we are having these two arrays, array1, array2 content getting displayed at the first, and a result is containing the addition of these two arrays as written in our Python program. So if you are having any doubts, please do comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching.